tidy up. And I'm going to teach you all 44 sounds. Now, this isn't exactly representative of what we do in class, because I'm simply going to put them all on the overhead, tell them to you once, and then come back on the overhead and say, what did I tell you? But it's like, what I want to do before I do that is, like in intermediate workshops, right, this is a side nose itch. In intermediate workshops, what we tell the people at one point, usually during a place value lesson, that if we come around to your table and we find somebody who doesn't understand, we won't be upset with that person, but everybody else at the table. Because what's a person doing at your table who doesn't understand if you do? What you have to do is take responsibility for each other, okay? Because when we all work together, we can all learn. And there's a poster that's mentioned in the reading program last year. I even think I had it up on the wall here. That's a little person made up of a lot of other little people, so that the little people form the shape of this bigger person. And the caption is, none of us are as smart as all of us. And that's true. Remember that when you're learning the 44 sounds, because it is not important that you know all 44 individually. It is important that you, as a class, know all 44 collectively, because you are here to help each other. And if one of you knows, then you all know. But even apart from that, it's like in the class, one of the advantages of having sounds with pictures and things like that is it's something the children can know and the children can help each other with. The teacher is no longer the resident expert, just the resident resource person. Because the place children turn for help is each other. I don't remember any of you asking me how to blend two-sound words or how to read the sounds or whatever when you were already beginning these activities. I showed you what the activities were, and you began doing them, and you helped each other. You personally didn't necessarily know every word, but that's okay. The people at your table did, or collectively you did, and collectively you'll know all 44 sounds. I was taught when I was in school to help one's neighbor was to cheat. To not let your neighbor do his or her own work was to deprive that neighbor somehow of the opportunity to learn. Now, most of the things, not most of the things, but a good number of things I was taught in school flew in the face of reality, because if the person next to me helped me, I knew it. As a matter of fact, in lots of math classes, that's the only way I knew it, because if I simply waited for the teacher to explain it to me, I was out of luck. And the person, if you said, you know, what did he say or what did she say, and they could kind of help you a little bit, you know, if working with your neighbor was not helpful, then why did you do homework with a friend? Well, there are lots of reasons for doing homework with a friend, but one of them was like for learning, okay? That when children in class are allowed and encouraged to help each other, then there's not one teacher in the class for each child. There are 30 teachers in the class for each child, so that everybody has help all the time. And if we do that, then everybody learns. I gave you all 44 sounds, but when you rotate to a station, remember, you have the same privilege that the children have, because all the sounds or all the activities that were there are still there. So if you felt more comfortable with the first 8 sounds, do the triangle level activities. Or if you want to just add a little bit more work to your load, try this. I will tell you which levels are which here, but try the next level up, which happens to be the circle level activities. So the circle level is just the first 16 sounds. You don't have to add more to your burden than you're ready for just because I showed you all 44 sounds. You can control the level of what you're doing by the codes on the worksheets. So triangle is the first level. Circle adds in 8 more. Square adds in 8 more to that. Rectangle adds in 8 more to that. And star has all of them, which means it added in 12 more because it came out even that way. What you're going to do is the picture packet station will now get all the 2-sound and 3-sound picture packets with the words and the pictures. The book station, now I said last time I was talking about the book station, I said you didn't get any more books this time, and I would tell you why this time. You didn't get any more books that time, and I tell you why this time. The books, past the two-sound level, the books are always used to introduce the next level of activity. When you're at the three-sound level, the next level of activity is going to be phrases. That was a, yeah. This is now a phrase book. See, that was a two-sound book, so it was going to be a very poor example of a phrase because it only had two sounds in it. All the plain-coded books that you could now read because you more or less know all the sounds all the plain-coded books have two sounds in them. Only the first two triangle books for the three-sound level have only three-sound words in them. What most of these books have in them is phrases made up of 2 words or sometimes 3 words, depending on what we could squeeze on a page. The reason for that is because books are always the place where the next hardest level activities are introduced, because that's the lowest pressure station. I mean, none of the stations are meant to have any pressure associated with them anyway, but who checks on a book? You can sit there with a book, look at this page, the page with the words on it, look at that page, you say, I want to read by myself today, thank you. Look at that page and then turn the page and then go back and look at the page again if you want, because the answer is always on the next page, all right? And so that children who are still kind of learning two-sound blending can always look at the page and look forward and not look back if they don't want, if they just want to enjoy the picture, okay? So that we use the book station to get children kind of informally ready for the next thing they will be doing, and the next thing they will be doing is phrases. And a phrase level, when a child can only read 2 or 3 sound words, isn't really a disadvantage because they've only got 2 or 3 sound words in the phrases. So the child can pick one or the other words and read it, or try reading both or whatever, but just informally. So that phrase level books are introduced now